Okay, this is coming along nicely. A lot of good work in there. The two biggest things I would say are that it looks like it's slow motion, and I just want to check if you check your animation preferences, make sure that your playback is set to 24 frames per second time one, and not play every frame. Because if it's on play every frame, for example, well, that doesn't look that much different, honestly. But if you, sometimes it'll play back faster. Um, if you don't have it set to that. So make sure it's set to that because it looks really slow to me. So let's see. Let's select all. And can I select the camera too? No, I cannot. Um, I'll just camera one. Control click on that. Okay. And I'm just going to hold shift and click and drag this. And then let's just scale this down significantly. Maybe there. And then right mouse click, snap. And let's play that back now. That looks a little bit better of a speed to me. The second biggest thing I noticed was that you're lifting the feet way too high. People, that's like a army marching kind of goose stepping kind of thing to lift the feet that high. Well, they don't all go that high, but a lot of them do. Yeah, like this one goes crazy high. So what I might do is I might just look in the graph editor at the Y translate and just take out a couple of keyframes here, but like that's maybe not too high. I'll lower it a little bit, but this one's way too high. And this one could probably, that's probably after she goes down into the thing, so. And then let's just, whoops, let's look at through the camera again. Well, so then the other thing, it's kind of a shame. Let's, I'm going to just get rid of the rotate keyframes on there because you're making it a lot harder on yourself than it needs to be. There's a specific tool for the foot roll thing. Um, so we're going to use roll for that. So actually I'll delete all the keyframes of this too because you haven't done any. So like in the middle, this might go back to 0, right? And then by the time it lands, you'll roll it back this way. And then I've got auto keyframe on, so a keyframe there, and then a couple frames after that, it'll flatten out. So oh, I didn't set a keyframe. Sorry. Let's do this again. So here we'll start there, S, and in the middle we'll do 0, and then here we'll do like -5, and then a couple frames later we'll do 0 again. So let's take a look at that. Okay. I think the camera maybe goes too fast now because I scaled the camera down with the rest of it, and so now it's too fast. Oh no, it's not that one. It's maybe something like that. Anyway, so yeah, and you can repeat that with the other foot. Delete out the rotate keyframes and then add in the roll keyframes, and then that'll help with the situation where now that the foot isn't lifting so high, you see it's going through the ground like there. Um, yeah, but see, I even think that's too high. People don't lift their feet very high. Um, I'm just going to use this perspective view. Really. Hold on K and click and drag. Also, this is a little bit off the ground here. Yeah, she's pulling beyond there, so, pretty. You might need to start rolling up, by the time she gets there to prevent that from overextending. And you might want to hold it, like I can click here and middle mouse click here to just update the time without updating the position, hit an S, and that'll hold it for a few frames before it starts rolling up. Anyway, so I would go back over those steps and get rid of the rotate and use the roll. Other notes about walking is the root should stay centered over the foot carrying the weight. So, there's no keyframes on the root. Interesting. Okay, so just set one here. Okay, while this foot's in the air, the weight's completely on this foot, so the root shifts over that way a little bit. And then by the time it's fully on this foot and that foot's in the air, the root will shift over that foot, and so on and so forth. Oh, you moved her with this. Yeah, you're supposed to move it with the root and use this for rotation, not translation. I mean, it still works, but it's not. So you can see some of that. You do have some of the hip rotate in there, which is good, but you don't have the kind of side-to-side movement. The other thing while you're at it, if you want, is if we look at, as long as we're kind of studying these feet, if I think you're doing it a little bit, but they can kind of be more aligned. Like this can be scooted in this way on each step, and that can be scooted in that way. And then they can kind of swing out and then swing back in. Like that. So people walk a little bit like that. Like not like they're walking on a tightrope, but not where the feet stay perfectly hips width apart either. But you do kind of swing out and cross back. And that will actually, if you're then lining up the route, you're not having to move it over back and forth as much because the feet aren't as far apart. So yeah, I think that's the big thing I would concentrate on. And I've got a video that I'll throw in there, which just shows a easy method for getting this is important. When you go to pick it up, I would tend to switch to IK hands, especially because you're using two hands. So you can animate these so that like maybe starting here, I'll keyframe this. Maybe by the time I get to there, I'll be in IK. And then I'm just going to grab this guy. Just using point snap. I'm just being real rough with it. Obviously, you'll do a better job, getting them nicely placed on the skull, but So see, it's transitioning from FK to IK. And then what you'll do is you'll have a duplicate of this head, and you'll animate the visibility of it so that one's parented to the hands and one is um, on the ground. I'll show you. I'll do a separate video which shows you. I guess I can do it now, but so I'm gonna duplicate this prop, and I'll just call this one parented, and I will parent that to. Whoops. Just shift selecting this and hit P. Okay. So now, obviously, you have to fix the hand and all that, but maybe that stays there for a moment, and then, whoops. Let me do that. This will be moving with that. Obviously, I'll have to do a better job with the hand placement, but not to mention the elbow position. Oops. Oh, that was the knee. Haha. Sorry. Yeah, these are way back here. Okay. And then you just animate the visibility. So that's on, and then one frame before that's off, and then let's go back. Wait, where does did I turn the other one? Oh yeah, it is off there. Where does it turn on? I think there. So this is on, and then one frame later, it's off. So what what you did is, so you have two of them, one that's parented and one that's not, and it's just swapping the visibility at exactly the moment she lifts it up. I mean, that's the basics. Obviously, I didn't do a careful job painting, but the other thing is it'll move with this hand, so when you place the hand on there nicely, it'll move nicely with it. This one you'll have to animate more carefully because you don't want to end up. I mean, it is possible to parent both hands to this. Is the other way. You could parent the hands to the skull and move the skull around, which maybe with both hands you want to do, but that has. Actually, that might be better in this case. I might parent, in that case. Still do the visibility swap thing. But I'm going to unparent this. And you could try it this way too, where you select this. And then so you go, let's just reveal that. Oh, that's right here. Skull prop parented. So you go, this guy, oops, as the children, and then select that as a parent, P. Instead, this is the other. Did that fly away? No. So now what you can do is instead of having the skull parented, you'll have the hands parented to the skull, and you'll actually keyframe the skull. Oh wait, why are those moving down? Just gonna. Is there a scale on this or something? No? Okay. can't really stand looking at that like that. Okay. Anyway, you'll spend more time getting a nice handhold on there, but... Oh, wait, why is it doing that? Get rid of this. Get rid of any keyframes. This one here. Okay. Alright, so now we're back to this. So what I was going to say is you'll take this guy, and we've got we've got a keyframe on him there, and you'll actually... Why does that pivot all the way over there? See, what you get then is both hands sticking really nicely. And then if you move this, the hands will move with that. That's probably the best way to do it. Hopefully that wasn't too confusing. The first time I had it where the skull was parented to the hand, but I'm thinking it's easier in this case if you parent both of the hand IK handles to the skull instead, and then animate the skull.